Welcome back to Tale 3 Cabins. We're down here setting up Christmas in Tennessee right now, but today's video has to do with some Christmas ideas, some gift ideas up in northern Ohio, covering not only the tractor but maybe UTV and maybe even just your vehicle. So why don't you come check it out, and let's start with tire plugs. Tire plugs is something everybody could use, whether it's their vehicle, their UTV, ATV, or the tractor. And I've seen a lot of questions on forums, can I use a plug in a low pressure tire such as a lawnmower or a UTV? And the answer is yes, you can use a plug in those. Of course, you don't want to use it on a sidewall. You never want to plug a sidewall, but in the tread area, you can use a plug. And I carry these in my UTV, I keep them handy by the tractor, and I have them in my vehicle. And in my day, I've probably fixed about 20 to 25 tires, some my own, some other people's on the road that I helped out. And it's pretty simple. You buy one of these kits, you ream out the tire. I had a video earlier with my tractor where I got a flat with the tractor and I fixed that tire. You put in a plug, you use this device, you thread the needle with the plug, push that into the tire, pull it out, and 99% of the time you're good to go. Unless you got a large hole in your tire, then these plugs aren't going to work. But for the most part, I am very surprised how many people tell me that they had a flat, they took their car up to the garage and they fixed it for them and charged them $25, $30, sometimes $50 to just put a plug in. And you can get a bunch of these plugs for about $4. The kit is probably another $5 to $6, and you could save yourself some money, save yourself some heartache, especially if you're out on the road. Tire plugs, great investment. Keep them on all your vehicles. The hardest part of using these is just finding where the leak is, and that's once you find that, it's pretty easy to install. There's a lot of videos on it. Of course, after you install a tire plug, you're going to have to reinflate that tire, and it's handy to have a tire inflator. There's a ton of them out there. I bought this one a few years ago. It's real nice because you can dial in a range. Sometimes when you're inflating a car tire, especially from almost empty or empty, it takes a long time to fill one up. You don't have to be bent over. You could just set this for the pressure you need, plug it into your cigarette lighter, let it start inflating, and it'll stop automatically for you. So I definitely carry one of these around. Another thing I like is if you have rechargeable tools, and I know that Ryobi has one, and I'm a big fan of rigid tools just because of the lifetime warranty. Sometimes it's a pain in the butt to get the warranty filed online and make sure that it goes through. But so far, I've been able to replace batteries for free, chargers for free. I haven't broke any of the tools yet per se, but I like the idea of the lifetime warranty and being able to replace the battery, so that's kind of why I go with rigid. But rigid also puts out a tire inflator, and you can adjust how much pressure you want to go in there. Well over 100 pounds. So I think these are pretty cool to have, especially here in a pole barn where I don't have electricity and I want to drag a compressor. That's real easy to just drag something like this over here. To talk about one more thing about filling tires, a lot of times I have stuff out in the yard. Maybe it's a wheelbarrow, maybe my log splitter is sitting out further out in the property with the tarp over it. I go out there and the tire's flat. So flat that I can't put air in it with one of these devices or one of these devices because it's leaking around the rim. So you need something that's got a little bit more oomph of tire pressure. And these are great to fill up with about 110, 120 PSI and give it a quick blast of air to reseal that tire on your wheelbarrow, tractor, log splitter. You fill it up with a little gauge, and if you don't have a compressor, like a large compressor, you can fill these up with one of these. I do it all the time. I hook it up to the inflator valve there, go up to at least 100, 120 PSI, take it somewhere in the yard where I don't have to haul a bigger compressor around, and use that to inflate a tire quickly. A while back I was complaining about the quick hitch that I use on my front end loader, and it's made by Titan. The bucket comes off, this quick hitch goes on, I can put a ball on there and move my trailers around, but a lot of times I have problems finding the trailer because I can't see over the hood of the tractor. And I got a lot of cool comments on my videos, and a couple people recommended getting these. And this is to line up your trailer alignment kit. It's magnetic, and basically you put this one directly behind the tongue this by your 2-inch ball, and when you're getting close, these balls are going to come together. Didn't give it a try yet, but I've heard good things about it. It was under $10 from Harbor Freight. I got a lot of suggestions in trying these. They're telescopic also, so depending on what you're using, you can raise and lower these up. Gonna give them a try. They'll be in a future video, but I think it makes a nice gift if you have issues like I do where you're trying to line up your trailer. And it's not only for tractors, but it's for other, if you don't have a rear backup camera, this could be very helpful. Another simple idea if you have a tractor and you haven't already done this, most people usually do as soon as they get their tractor, and that's put some bolt-on hooks. I don't have a welder, so it wasn't convenient for me to put weld-on hooks on here, but the bolt-on hooks are pretty simple. Drill in 2 holes for each one. These bolt-on hooks are rated for far more than what this bucket and tractor can handle, so there's no worry in doing any damage to your tractor or your bucket. They're very useful in many occasions, and if you get these hooks, then you're going to need a set of chains. And I would recommend getting at least 14 feet in length. You can get chains at Harbor Freight. I got a couple sets and I use them all the time. Comes really handy with those hooks. It's very easy to strap stuff to the tractor, move it around. Gives you another tool in the toolbox on how you're going to strap something down to your tractor and move it around your property. Get them from Harbor Freight, wait till they have a sale, get a coupon. If you have a tractor, a UTV, some sort of ATV, even a lawnmower, somewhere down the road you contemplate, maybe I should put a few more lights on it than what comes stock, just to help me out. LED lights are cheap. They add a lot more light for your projects. They don't drain a lot of power off your battery or your system when you're using them. I've become a fan of using heavy-duty magnets to mount a lot of stuff because I can place them anywhere. This is a set of LED lights that I put together that comes really handy if I'm using something on the back part of my tractor, so I can maneuver these and place them anywhere on the roll bar, even on the backhoe if I need to. It plugs in just with the cigarette lighter. So it's versatile. I don't always need to have it on there. I have them hanging here, and if it's snowing and I'm going to be going in reverse, or I want to be a little bit more safer if I'm out by the road, this is pretty easy to attach it to the tractor and go. So as I said, I use these magnets a lot. I got these from Harbor Freight. You can get them on Amazon. Some of them are rated for up to 80 or 90 pounds of holding strength. I use this to put my camera on the roll bar. I put a little camera mount screw on top there. But I use these magnets all the time for things where I just don't want to drill holes into my roll bar or some other part of the tractor, but I want to be able to mount stuff that's going to stick and stay. And these are pretty powerful, sometimes a little too hard to get off. Now my wife seems to think that I have some sort of addiction to flashlights or other alternative auxiliary illuminating devices, but this is pretty cool. One thing I like about this headlamp is that it has a wide area of light. These are a bunch of little LEDs, and if you're working on something, especially on your back, like underneath your tractor or your car, it kind of illuminates a wider area, and to me that works out good. Also, that's kind of cool is that if your hands are dirty and you're working on your car, you can just wave your hand and turn the light on, and when you want the light off to say battery, you wave it and shut it off. So it's got like a little motion sensor in there, which is great when you've got grease and oil all over your hands and you don't want to be touching your hat or up around your head. So let's try it again. Try to get you a better look at this. It's got 2 levels. It's got a low and a high, and also it has a little spotlight on the side, and that works pretty great. I'll show you what that looks like walking down my driveway taking a rubbish out. It was pretty much pitch black out there, not a lot of light. The sun went down about an hour and a half ago, and just to give you an idea, looking at the pole barn on wide area mode, on high, and using the spotlight. It charges with a USB cable that works with any type of phone charger device, and it lasts a maximum of 8 hours. I believe I read 2.5 hours on high, but it's pretty cool. It's very bright, probably not obvious when it's shining in the camera. I try to give you a little example outside, but I thought I'd share this as a possible gift. And like, again, this could be used while you're working on your autos, your UTV, when you're out there in the middle of nowhere with your UTV, and on the tractor, certainly. Just another little idea, something that I thought is pretty cool, not your average headlamp. So I'll put links down below of all the things that I mentioned here, and these are just things that can really be used on a tractor, they could be used on a UTV, they could be used on an automobile, and many, many more applications. So it's kind of like a win-win-win if you buy one of these things. So these are just a few things that maybe other people don't talk about when they talk about their Christmas shopping list for you on their tractor videos or their outdoor channels. I hope you found it a little helpful or interesting, maybe learned something. Put a comment below if you think there's something unique that you have bought that is a lifesaver for you and it hasn't been mentioned in a lot of these tractor videos or outdoor videos. But for now, let's go back to Tennessee. Well, we got our Christmas decorations up, the tree is up, the outdoor lights were put up, and the rest of the decorations. I also did a few minor repairs while we were here. I found the drain was busted for the sink. The little drain strainer was broken. The microwave door was broken, and I repaired that. Some other little minor repairs that we took care of down here. We had our annual HOA meeting, attended that. We took Willow down to her favorite happy place, which is called the Island. She loves to walk around there, and people love to meet and greet her.
You can pet her if you like. No, not at all. She kind of demands it.
Sweet girl, yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
I love you, dog.
Thank you.
She just had a great time down there. Fireworks are going on behind me down at Dollywood. They're doing them every night here till about middle of January, and we always have a front row seat off the back of our deck here. Somebody just launched a drone behind me, so I think they're trying to get the fireworks also. We have one more day and then we're going to be heading back. We've been bebopping around quite a bit these last couple months, so I'm kind of looking forward to staying home and getting some projects done at home for a change. We'll probably be home for at least a month before I have to go back down to southern Ohio, and then we're going to have to come back here towards the end of January, early February, take down Christmas, and maybe do a few larger projects. So I appreciate everybody watching these videos. Hope you enjoy and subscribe, and keep an eye on us. Take care, everybody.